Hey, what's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to talk about the 6 different ways you can monetize a rank and rent website. I'm somebody that's been doing this business model for over 11 years. And in the last 6 months alone, I created 150 more rank and rent sites and I ranked it all over Los Angeles. So I know what I'm talking about in this business. I'm still doing this business even to this day. And the 6 different models that we're going to talk about are start earning commissions for every job that your rank and rent site generates. Number 2, rent it out for a flat fee. Number 3, pay-per-call. Number 4, the hybrid model. Number 5, you can upsell more site build-outs for an existing client. And number 6, you can use rank and rent sites to make SEO clients even more sticky. All right, so let's get right into it. The first model that I'm going to talk about is the model that I'm focused on today in 2026, which is earning commission for every lead that my rank and rent site generates. So here's what I mean. This is the 150 sites that I built just in the last 6 months. All these sites have a call tracking attached to it. And here's my dashboard where every call that I'm generating is being tracked and recorded. And this dashboard API connects into my client's CRM, which you can see here. So there's full transparency. I can see exactly which lead generated what job and from what website it came from. Many of you that are worried about GBPs, and it has gotten more challenging, even though I still have different ways to get GBPs, but I've realized that when you just build more websites that target specific keywords, specific cities, just having more websites out there alone can generate more leads than just having one GBP. And here's some of the commissions that my sites are generating. This is a $1,000 commission, $900 commission for one job. And the reason why the commission structure can work really well is because the client can no longer complain at you if, let's say, you rent out a site and a GBP for $1,000 a month, but that site isn't generating enough leads and then the client is unsatisfied. On a straight commission deal, even if a site generates 10 calls or 30 calls, it's whatever they close, I get a percentage of. I think in the rank and rent business, too many people have relied too much on GBPs, which allowed you to generate leads much faster because you didn't even need SEO rankings. But without GBPs, you actually need to properly rank the site dominantly for that niche. So I think today, to become successful in rank and rent, you actually need higher level SEO skills. Out of the 150 rank and rent sites that I have right now, only maybe 20% of those sites that I actually have a GBP for. Most of those sites are ranking organically and I'm generating all these leads, over 100 calls a day. And I'm going to earn commission on every high ticket jobs that my sites generate. So it's almost as if these rank and rent sites, I've now owned a piece of equity into these construction companies. Now to set up this type of deal with a client, what I do is it's first on a trust basis, right? Because here inside my call tracking, if we go right here into the settings, we can control what's called a whisper message. This is an audio that will play at the beginning of every call. So in the beginning, you're going to put your name here. You're going to put this lead was sent to you by ePay if it was me. And every time you generate a call to a client, they're going to hear your name. So what I like to do is start sending them free leads. They start hearing your name. Then after you've already proven that you got real customers, then you reach out to the client and go, hey, this is ePay. I'm the guy that's been sending you those free leads the last couple of days. I work on performance-based. I'm looking for one reputable company in the area where I can send all my leads to. I have a site that's already ranking. That's something that you'd be interested in. And if this company is hungry for more leads, which 80% of these businesses are, they're going to be very interested in working with you. And then you're just first basically trying to start the relationship. The site is still not full power. It's still trickling in leads. This is why it's more challenging to close out a client on a flat fee deal right then and there because you still haven't truly proven yourself. So it's much easier to say, hey, whatever you close off of my leads, just give me a kickback, just give me a fair commission. And in most industries, 7% kind of commission is pretty fair. And so you build it on a trust basis. A couple of reasons why this works so well is because you're removing all the risks from that business owner. It makes it easy for them to say yes. It makes it easy for them to start the business relationship and start paying you. And that's the key because once they start receiving your leads, they're going to get hooked on them. They're going to see all this extra revenue that they're generating to where a month and a half down the road, you're going to have a lot more leverage in terms of a deal that you can negotiate. For the right type of client, that wants to scale, some of these clients will be like, hey, Ipe, can you give me more websites? Can you get us more leads? If it's a company that's really trying to grow, then at that point, you've already proven yourself. They know you're the man, you're the gal, you're the expert. And so then if you come back to them that, hey, listen, I like to automate all these commissions so it's got full transparency. I would like to create some sort of a CRM implementation. And at that point, the relationship has already been built. They're going to be much more open to giving you access to their CRM. And my call tracking can API connect to a CRM, go high level. At that point, you've now just created an automated commission deal where you just have to focus on what you're good at, which is just generating more and more leads, building more of these rank and rent sites. If it's a business where it's not really truly looking to scale, it's maybe in a smaller city, there's no surrounding bigger cities or other cities in the area, then it might make sense to transition that client after a month or two and they start seeing consistent lead volume to a monthly flat fee rental. And this is traditionally what a lot of rank and rent people would like to do. They would just like to rent it out for $750 a month, $1,000 a month. It really depends on the lead volume and the average value of each customer. Again, I have to note here the flat fee deal, to be able to close that right out of the gate after you only generated 2-3 leads, it's difficult because the problem is in the beginning, these sites will not generate the max amount of leads. In 2 to 3 months, they'll start to trickle in leads and the lead volume will continue to rise from 3 to 6 months. So in that meantime, if you close that client on $1,000 a month deal, you have to then generate enough leads for them to feel like that $1,000 a month is worth it. Now, what you could do is go for the close anyway, close them for $1,000 a month, and then you can use some of their budget to run some AdWords while you wait for the site to get stronger and stronger in the rankings so that they're at least generating a certain amount of leads per month where they'll be continue to be happy to pay you $1,000 a month. All right, so number 3, the next way you can monetize this business is pay-per-call, okay? And pay-per-call is basically, regardless of whether they close the job or not, every phone call, every email lead that I generate for a customer or for a client, they pay me X amount of dollars for that lead. And there's a simple way to calculate the value of this lead. But first, let me just say, for this model, it makes more sense if it's in a niche where the average value of a customer is pretty consistent. For example, like towing, the average value of a customer is like $250. Junk removal, $350. But in high ticket niches that I'm in, where one drywall job can be a patch job that can be $1,000, another could be a whole commercial project that could be $30,000. In those kind of niches, especially when I'm good at going after those high ticket keywords, commission begins to make more sense. All that to say, there's still a lot of niches out there where relatively similar value of each customer. Then this is how you can calculate the value of each lead with the client. So regardless of what deal that I do, whether it's commission or whatever, I always ask the client, what is your close rate? If I sent you 10 leads, how many of those 10 leads do you think you can close? If they say 30%, and then the next question is, I ask them, what's the average value of each customer? Let's just say it's $2,000, like in tree removal niche. So if I sent them 10 leads at 30% close rate, they're going to close 3 clients, right? So that means 3 times $2,000 is $6,000 of revenue for that client. And let's say they agree to a 7% commission, or 7% commission is relatively fair in most industries. So 7% of $6,000 is $420 in commission for myself. So when we do the math on this, we just have to divide $420 of my commission over 10 leads, because every 10 leads, that's going to be around my commission based on their close rate and average value of each customer. So if we divide 420 by 10 leads, that means each lead is worth around $42. So then you can do like a pay-per-call model. And in my call tracking dashboard, I'm going to implement very soon a feature where if the call goes over 30 seconds, it'll auto bill that client for that lead. In this case, it would be $42. And what's great about this is, again, another automated way of generating income from your rank and rent sites where it's tied to straight performance based. So even if call volume dropped 1 month for whatever reason, they really can't complain or bitch at you. Again, when you rent it out for a flat fee, unless you have a site that has aged a little bit and very consistent and dominating the SERPs and getting very consistent leads for several months, you do have to watch out for the performance of a flat fee deal to make sure that your client's not going to get upset. So this is where, again, implementing like AdWords at times might be needed. especially while your site is still in the ranking process. All right, let's go to number 4, which is a hybrid deal. And this is a deal that I'm teaching my new students more and more, because for new students, one of the key things for you guys to accomplish is to be able to walk away from your 9 to 5 as quickly as possible. So instead of just doing straight performance, you need to start making money as quickly as possible so it can cover some of the costs of the business. And so you can start making money on a consistent basis so you can walk away from your 9 to 5. So instead of doing a straight performance, you do some sort of a hybrid deal where you rent out the site for $300 per month and you ask to earn 5% commission on whatever this site generates. I think this type of deal is very reasonable and fair for most businesses. Now, depending on how hungry the business owner is, you can try to pitch them maybe a little bit higher percentage here. But I think generally speaking, this is very reasonable. I think a lot of businesses would love to take this deal. When you have 10 sites out there, I mean, at $300 a month flat fee, at least you're making like $3K a month, plus the upside of performance. And having $300 of flat fee is also kind of the give and take. You're putting some pressure on the client as well to treat your site and the leads that your sites are generating seriously. And I'm going to have a lot of different pitches for this as well in my coaching program. All right, let's talk about number 5, which is you can use these lead gen sites to go upsell more rank and rent site build outs. So understand that these rank and rent sites, you can create more of these in other parts of the city, because a lot of these service-based businesses will travel 30-mile radius. And in that radius, there's going to be other cities that you could target with more sites. And instead of you building out those sites out of your own budget, what you can do is if you have one site that's starting to generate leads and that business owner is getting excited because of your leads, then you can upsell that business owner and say, hey, we can really scale your business. I have this city that's within your service area that we could target, and I deal with a lot of other clients, but if you want, I can build out more of these sites for you. I just have to charge you $1,000 one-time setup fee for each site that I build out. And oftentimes, this is the power of upsell. When someone gets excited working with you and is already starting to see results, it's now easy for them to future pace being able to generate even more revenue with you, because you've already proven that you have the skills to rank these sites and generate these leads. It's just a matter of you explain to them that it's just a matter of having more sites out there. And now you're taking the client's money and it's helping you fund and fuel other lead gen projects or other rank and rent websites. All right, the number 6 is using these rank and rent sites to make SEO clients more sticky. For example, I also teach in my community that you can use SEO as a service, go close SEO clients like an SEO agency. When you do that, you're able to now begin working with different types of businesses, not just service-based businesses that are more brick and mortar, like a dentist or a chiropractor or a plastic surgeon. I recently closed a deep tissue massage therapist, and I closed them on a $1,500 a month contract for a whole year of doing SEO. The downside with an SEO client is that you're doing all the SEO on their website because it has to be attached to their physical location. So after you put in the work to rank their site, it's because it's not your site, they could potentially leave you or stop paying you, and then there's really nothing you can do. This is why with an SEO client, you really want to be charging upfront a good amount of money so for it to be worth your time, knowing that this client could possibly churn and burn. But in order to prevent that churn and burn, what you can do is create what I like to call the golden handcuffs, meaning if it's a dental client, the advantage of building a rank and rent website is that you can hyper target a search query by using exact match domain with the branding. So for example, if it's a dentist in Tampa, Florida, and his name is like Dr. John Edwards Dentistry, right? That name is not really hyper relevant or targeting the city Tampa or a specialized dental procedure they do that's more lucrative and higher ticket. And for a dentist, it's crowns and dental implants. So for that dentist, you start doing SEO for their main website. However, you also start building other sites that are lead gen sites that target services that are high ticket that this person does. I've seen people do rank and rent for plastic surgeons as well, for rhinoplasty, and you put the city as the brand name, like Tampa Rhinoplasty. In this case, you create a name like tampadentalimplants.com. This type of site will be much easier to rank and hyper relevant for anybody searching for dental implants in Tampa. And this way you can start generating some high ticket leads from an external website. And for these type of sites, I would eventually figure out, once the lead volume is consistent, figure out a flat fee where I would rent out that entire site for that dentist. And now you got a situation where you are not only doing SEO for their main site, but you also own and control some of these lead gen sites where they can no longer leave you at that point. And nor should they, because you put in the extra work to build these lead gen avenues, and now their business is making more money than they ever could before with just one website for their brand. All right, with that being said, guys, though these are the 6 main ways you can monetize rank and rent websites, but just know that you are literally one client away from having life-changing income on the internet with this business model, because I've had many times where one client not only does one type of service, but they do other types of specialty services that are far more lucrative, that they really want more business out of, that I've gone ahead and built some hyper niche specific rank and rent sites that were much easier to rank, and these sites are easily worth a couple $1,000s for some of these clients. So I have a lot more of these examples and strategies that I can share with you in my coaching program. Again, I've been doing this for 11 years. I just launched a brand new community and coaching program this year. All the videos are brand new. And in my humble opinion, I'm one of the most experienced at this business model, and I'm one of the best at SEO when it comes to this model. So click the link in the description if you want more info on my coaching program. Otherwise, ask me questions. I answer every questions directly on my YouTube channel. Subscribe and stay tuned for more SEO strategies and rank and rent business model type of videos on my channel. This is still one of the best online business models out there that allows everyday people like me or you achieve real passive income. It allows you to have a model where you can own income producing assets. See you in the next video.